So this photo in front of you, is it real or is it fake? In some ways it looks too good to be true, doesn't it? You have the leading line, an empty road, an empty busy road possibly. You have the sky, the clouds, and dramatic foreground which is dark. There's even shades of blocks on the road where it looks like you could have removed cars to make it more clean looking. But the reality is, I took that picture. I was really happy because I waited for 10 minutes or more, 10, 15 minutes for the road to actually be empty. It's a busy road in Coventry, down Aldersley. I was standing over the bridge. I was really happy when I got it. And this picture is almost straight out of camera. I haven't done much to it at all. I certainly haven't removed any cars. And I think the patches of them is where they've done roadworks and stuff like that. But I immediately thought, no one will believe this. No one will think it's authentic. People will think I've removed things, added things, taken things away, added a perfect sky. And I haven't posted it. Usually when I'm really happy with something I've done, I post it on my website or social media and see what people think and get appreciation for it. And this photo here of a cat in a supermarket, I sent this to several people and pretty much all of them said it was fake. They all said it's fake because a cat in a supermarket, and it's even worse that the cat on the posters or on the products behind it look exactly like the cat that's in front of it. And if someone sent me that photo, I'd probably think, yeah, that's not real because it's just too much coincidence, it's too clean. But again, I took that photo. I was in a supermarket and I was shocked to see a real cat in front of the cat food. And it kind of shocked me. It made me jump actually because I thought it was one of them stuffed toys, but it wasn't. It meowed at me. And I sent it and I was like, and I just got a reaction saying, that's not real, it's fake. And so the moment's kind of lost, isn't it? That kind of quirky, unusual moment that I've captured just with my phone kind of became a debate of reality and authenticity that overrid kind of the point of the photo. And that's what I'm worried about when I post photos like that. They're too clean and perfect. It becomes a debate with people when they first see it of, well, is that a good photo or is it real photo? And that's the dilemma we're in at the moment. There's a book, The Genius of Photography, in 2007, I think it was, that I got this book because it's an introduction to all the different history and genres of photography, and it's really interesting, great book. And they also made a BBC DVD. It was on the internet for a while on their iPlayer. It's brilliant. Starting out with photography, it gives you the basis for the history, the genres, everything. But look at the cover photo of the DVD. Yeah, the photo is by Stephen Shaw. It's called 1/8 Humour, which was taken in 1974. And so I've always aspired, because when you're starting out in photography, you look to what's done before and what inspires you. And there's something about that road that I've always wanted to recreate. I mean, it has the perfect sky, leading lines, empty scene, lots of geometric shapes in there. And I'm waiting for all the cars to go. And obviously you have to be patient for that. And I managed to get a few frames without any cars in, because I know I can do it with Photoshop removal. In Lightroom, you can do it just quite easily. You just click on it, it removes it, fills it in. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be more authentic. And authentic is a big topic now in photography. So when the book and the DVD was made, they don't really mention digital photography much, digital art photography, because it wasn't really much around then. But now it's a massive thing and it has a massive influence. Well, does it have a massive impact about what I do and photographers do and how their work is seen? I think it does. And the situation now is that we are inundated with photos and images constantly. I'm guessing a lot of them aren't real anymore. And the problem is that they don't say they're not real. I mean, digital art, I've got nothing against it, but as long as they say it's digital art. But people don't realise that, and they comment and like it saying, oh, amazing, how did you take that? Where did you take it? And of course, the person who posted it doesn't reply because it's all digital art. They don't say it's digital art. Then they start to question everything you see. So where does this lead us as photographers? Because everything I put up will be questioned. Because we want truth, we want things to be real, we strive for authenticity. I certainly do as well, in art as well. We want things to be real and how it was taken. I've got nothing against image correction, which is because the cameras don't see as we see with our eyes, so they need some inputting with like the exposure, like brightness, contrast, or shadows. Sometimes the cameras can't deal with the harsh, deep shadows or bright highlights, so sometimes you can tweak them and bring them back in. Image correction is part of photography. It always has been. Image manipulation is a completely different thing. So this is the Photoshop, what people know as Photoshop. But you can do it in most image software now, or even on your phone you can remove things, can't you, and change the background. That's manipulation in a different area, and that's when things start to become fake. So even just removing like a lamppost that you don't want because it's sticking out someone's head or something, it makes a nice photo, sure, and like, it doesn't really matter, does it, with things like that, making it a nice photo. But when it goes extreme like that, so AI now, artificial intelligence, you can type in what you want to make and it makes it for you. So I could easily type into AI saying long empty road, autumnal trees, perfect sky, dark shadows. It'd probably make something very similar to that photo. It's also a time where if I do post photos on social media or on my website, it gets little to no appreciation or attention or reach anymore. And that's not just for me, it's across the board. Even the most famous photographers with millions of followers have all said the same. It's about 1% reach and interaction now. And that's just the way the times are, with the mistrust with social media. But the problem is for creatives, that's really, really bad for creatives. There are people who spend a lifetime or years or honing their craft and spending so much time on it and creating something original and authentic to themselves, and you put it out there, because that's the whole point. One of the points of art is to share it and get interaction out what people think about it and to get appreciation, for sure. But now that's little to nothing, coupled with AI, which could create it and people don't know what to trust. It just becomes, what do you do? It's easy to feel downbeat that, well, what's the point if nobody will believe it, and if I do put it up, no one will see it anyway, because that's the way social media is, and no one will interact. So you might just think, what's the point, and not bother. That's exactly what you shouldn't do. It's a hard time for it, for sure. And people starting out message me saying, how can I make it in photography and get the followers and make a career in it, in business? And I always just say, go out there, take photos, link people in to events, and it'll slowly grow. And that's pretty much the same as it's always been. I think the best thing to come out of this video, or to think about this computer generated versus artists, is that you've got to support the artists, the real artists who are making things, who are spending their time, effort, experience and skill making something. And I think there'll be a backlash against the computer AI very soon. It's somehow integrated itself into everything we do, from Google to our phones, every app, everything you go on, every phone service, everything you can think electronic has suddenly become AI. I think I'm getting sick of it already, but I'm from an artist's perspective, but I just think generally people are getting really fed up with it. And I think it leads us towards humanity and the arts, something real, authentic, more, the more AI comes into our lives. So yeah, it's a really interesting debate, which I've been having for a few years now. And well, where do I go with this? I don't know. I don't know the answers, but the best thing you do is support the artists you know. Even you don't need to know them in real life. Even just someone you follow on social media that is an actual artist and producing genuine content. Support them, like their pages, like their posts, comment and share, and just give them something genuine back. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this photo. I really like it. And maybe I will post it and just give a bit of context so people know it's real. But I never put, this is a real photo. But maybe I should have to start saying that. I don't know. Well, there we go. I've got it off my chest a bit now. Okay, right. I'll see you next time.